The night the stadium lights turned on, millions of people around the world watched one young footballer standing alone in the tunnel. His name was Daniel Carter. He was 24 years old, wearing the national jersey of his country, waiting for the biggest moment of his life, his first FIFA World Cup match. But nobody knew the story behind his eyes. Nobody knew that years ago, Daniel was just a poor kid playing football on broken streets with an old ball that had more holes than memories. Nobody knew that the reason he was standing there was because of two people. His little sister, Emily, and the girl who believed in him before the world knew his name, Sophia. Daniel grew up in a small town where football was everything. Every child dreamed of becoming a World Cup player, but most people never escaped their streets. His father worked long hours, and his mother saved every small amount of money to support her children. Daniel's little sister Emily was his biggest fan. Whenever he came home after practice, she would run outside and shout, "Daniel, one day you will play in the World Cup." Daniel laughed. "Me? Playing in front of millions? That's impossible." Emily looked at him seriously. "Nothing is impossible when you love something." Those words stayed with him forever. When Daniel was 16, he met Sophia. She was not impressed by fame or talent. She didn't care about football stars. She cared about the person behind the dream. They met after Daniel lost an important youth tournament. He sat alone outside the field, holding back tears. Sophia walked over and asked, "You lost?" Daniel looked down. "Yes," she smiled. "Then you learned something." Daniel looked confused. "Learned what?" "That you can still stand after losing." That was the first time someone understood his heart. Years passed. Daniel trained harder than anyone. While others celebrated, he practiced. While others slept, he watched his old matches and studied his mistakes. Sophia stayed beside him. She saw every failure, every injury, every moment when Daniel wanted to quit. One rainy night, Daniel called her. "I think I'm not good enough." Sophia answered, "Daniel, the world only sees the final goal. I saw every step you took to reach it." Then came the biggest news of his life. He was selected for the FIFA World Cup squad. When he told his family, Emily started crying. "You did it." Daniel hugged her. "No, we did it." Because he knew his sister's belief carried him when his own disappeared. But before the World Cup began, Daniel faced his hardest challenge. A serious injury. The doctors said, "You may not be ready to play." The dream he spent his whole life chasing was disappearing. Daniel sat in the hospital, staring at his football boots. For the first time, he was afraid. Sophia came in quietly. She placed his World Cup jersey beside him. "Look at this." Daniel looked. "You fought years to wear this shirt. Don't let one bad day decide your whole story." Daniel asked, "What if I fail?" Sophia smiled. "Then fail while fighting." The tournament started. The world watched. Daniel entered his first World Cup match with millions of people cheering. But inside his heart, he remembered a small street, an old ball, his sister's voice, and the girl who believed in him. The match was almost over. The score was tied. One chance remained. Daniel received the ball. The defender came toward him. The crowd became silent. For 1 second, he remembered every struggle, every tear, every sacrifice. Then he kicked. The ball flew into the goal. The stadium exploded. Daniel fell to his knees. Not because he scored, because he finally understood. The dream was never just about becoming famous. It was about proving that hope can survive. The sound of the crowd was still echoing inside Daniel's heart. Thousands of cameras flashed as he stood in the middle of the stadium after scoring the winning goal. Reporters shouted his name. Fans held signs with his face. The world had finally noticed the boy who once played football on broken streets. But Daniel didn't celebrate like a superstar. He looked toward the stands. He searched for two faces. His sister Emily, and Sophia. When he found them, he smiled. Emily was crying and jumping with happiness. Sophia simply placed her hand on her heart and smiled, the same way she did years ago when nobody knew Daniel's name. After the match, the media surrounded him. "Daniel, how does it feel to become a World Cup hero?" Daniel looked at the trophy display in the distance. I'm not a hero, I'm just someone who refused to stop. The next morning, newspapers around the world wrote about him. The unknown boy, the impossible dream, the player who came from nothing. But fame brought something Daniel never expected. Pressure. Every match became harder. Every mistake became a headline. People who never knew him suddenly judged him. One bad pass, one missed chance, and millions of people blamed him. After a difficult training day, Daniel sat alone. His confidence was disappearing. Sophia found him near the empty field. You're hiding again, she said. Daniel looked up. I'm tired, Sophia. From football? No. He looked at the stadium. From trying to prove myself every day. Sophia sat beside him. You don't have to prove your worth to people who only see your results. Daniel was quiet. Then he whispered, what if I lose everything? Sophia replied, then you'll still have the person who believed in you before the world did. But there was something Sophia had not told him. A secret, something she carried alone. A few days later, Daniel noticed she was acting differently. She stopped answering calls. She avoided conversations. Finally, he asked, what's happening? Sophia looked away. I might have to leave. Daniel froze. Leave? Where? She took a deep breath. My family is moving to another country. The words hurt more than any injury. When, after the World Cup, Daniel felt the dream he had worked for suddenly become complicated. He had imagined winning the trophy and celebrating with her. He had imagined a future. Now he wasn't sure. Meanwhile, Emily discovered an old box in their house. Inside were old letters from their father. Daniel's father had passed away years before, but the letters revealed something Daniel never knew. His father had once been a footballer too. Not famous, not rich, but talented. He had a chance to play professionally, but he gave it up because Daniel was born and the family needed him. One letter said, maybe I couldn't reach the stadium, but I hope my son reaches it someday. Emily ran to Daniel with the letter. Daniel read it silently, his eyes filled with tears. All those years he thought he was chasing his own dream. But now he understood. He was carrying his father's unfinished dream too. The World Cup reached the semifinal. Daniel's team faced the strongest opponent in the tournament. The whole world expected a battle. And it was. For 90 minutes, nobody scored. Extra time began. Daniel was exhausted. His injury pain returned. The coach asked, can you continue? Daniel looked at his teammates. Then he remembered Emily's words. Nothing is impossible when you love something. He nodded. Yes. The final minutes arrived. The score was 1-1. A single goal would decide everything. Daniel received the ball. The same moment from his childhood came back. The streets, the old ball, his father, his sister, Sophia, everything that made him who he was. He moved forward. One defender, two defenders. The goalkeeper rushed out. Daniel had one choice, shoot, but instead, he passed. His teammates scored. The stadium exploded. They were going to the World Cup final. After the match, Daniel found Sophia outside the stadium. I know you're leaving, he said. Sophia looked down. I'm sorry. Daniel smiled sadly. Don't be. How can you say that? Because you gave me something nobody else could. What? Belief. Sophia cried. I wanted to stay. Daniel held her hand. Then don't let distance end our story. The night before the final, Daniel couldn't sleep. He sat with his sister Emily. She asked, are you scared? Daniel smiled. Yes. Emily laughed. The World Cup final and you're scared? Daniel looked at her. Scared because dreams are powerful. Sometimes when they come true, you realize how much they mean. Emily replied, then go show the world why you deserved it. The night before the FIFA World Cup final was the longest night of Daniel's life. The whole country was awake. Millions of people were dreaming about victory. But Daniel sat alone in the hotel room, looking at his old football boots. They were the same boots he wore years ago when he was just a kid playing on broken streets. They were damaged, old, almost useless, but he never threw them away. Because they reminded him of one thing. The dream started before the fame. Before the stadium, Before the cameras. Before the world knew his name. Early in the morning, Daniel received a message. It was from Sophia. Whatever happens today, remember this, I'm proud of the person you became, not just the player. Daniel stared at the message. He wanted to call her. He wanted to tell her not to leave. But he knew something. Real love was not about holding someone back. It was about wanting them to be happy. The final match began. The stadium was louder than anything Daniel had ever experienced. The national anthem played. Players stood with tears in their eyes. Every footballer knew this moment might never come again. The first half was a battle. The opponent scored first, 1-0. The crowd went silent. Daniel looked at the scoreboard. For the first time in the tournament, they were losing. The pressure was everywhere. Some players looked afraid, but Daniel walked toward them. Look at me, he said. We didn't come this far because it was easy. His teammates listened. We came here because we never gave up. Second half started. Daniel played like a different person. Not like a superstar. Like the boy who had nothing but a dream. He ran. He fought. He sacrificed. Then, in the 70th minute, he created a chance. A perfect pass. Goal. The score became 1-1. The stadium exploded. Daniel didn't celebrate alone. He pointed toward the sky. A tribute to his father. But the opponent attacked again. Minutes later, Daniel's team was in danger. The goalkeeper missed the ball. An opponent was about to score. Daniel ran back. He had one choice. Stop the shot, but it could hurt his injured leg badly. He didn't think. He jumped. He blocked the ball. The crowd screamed. Daniel stayed on the ground. His teammates rushed to him. Are you okay? Daniel slowly stood up. I'm okay. But everyone saw the pain. The match entered extra time. The score was still tied. The world was watching. A young boy watching from his home said, "One day I want to be like Daniel." That was the magic of football. A player's struggle becomes another child's dream. With only 5 minutes left, Daniel received the ball near the penalty area. The same moment, the same feeling, the whole world became quiet. The defender moved closer. Daniel remembered his father's letter. He remembered Emily. He remembered Sophia. Then he saw something. A teammate was open. Everyone expected Daniel to shoot. The hero shot. The winning goal. But Daniel passed. His teammate kicked. Goal. 2-1. The final whistle blew. Daniel's team had won the FIFA World Cup. The stadium became a wave of celebration. Players cried. Fans screamed. The trophy was brought onto the field. Daniel touched it. The dream was real, but his first thought wasn't about himself. He searched for his family. Emily ran onto the field. She hugged him. You did it. Daniel smiled. No. He looked at the trophy. We did it. Later that night, Daniel walked outside the stadium. The celebrations continued behind him. Sophia was waiting. She had tears in her eyes. I saw the final. Daniel smiled. Then you saw I passed the last goal. Yes. Why are you crying? She smiled. Because the boy I met years ago became the man I knew he could be. Daniel looked at her. Are you still leaving? Sophia became quiet. Yes. Daniel looked down. But then she continued. However, I realized something. What? I was running away from the distance. But I forgot something. Daniel waited. She smiled. Love can travel too. The next morning, Daniel woke up to another surprise. Emily entered the room holding a newspaper. The headline said, World Cup champion Daniel Carter, the boy who never gave up. Emily laughed. You're famous now. Daniel smiled. No, I'm still your brother. She hugged him. And for a moment, everything was simple again. Not a football star. Not a champion. Just Daniel. But the story was not finished. Because after winning the World Cup, Daniel faced a new challenge. The world wanted more from him. More goals. More trophies. More victories. And Sophia had a decision that could change their entire future. The morning after the World Cup victory felt unreal. Daniel Carter opened his eyes and for a few seconds, he forgot everything. Then he saw the trophy sitting near the window. The golden light reflected on it. He smiled. A dream that once felt impossible was now sitting in front of him. But Daniel quickly realized something. Winning the World Cup was not the end of the journey. It was the beginning of a new one. After the tournament, Daniel became one of the most famous footballers in the world. Children wore his jersey. Fans copied his celebration. People called him a legend. But every night, when the stadium lights disappeared and the crowds went home, Daniel remembered the same things. The small street, the old football, his father's sacrifice, Emily's belief in Sophia. Sophia had moved away. At first, the distance was painful. Their calls became shorter. Their lives became busier. Daniel had training and matches. Sophia had her own dreams. Many people told Daniel, "You are a world champion. You can find anyone." But Daniel always answered, "Fame is easy to find. Someone who believed in you before fame is rare." Months passed. Then one day, Daniel returned to his hometown. He wanted to visit the place where everything started. The old football field was still there. The same broken ground, the same memories, but something was different. There were children playing, and one little girl was coaching them. Daniel stopped, because he recognized her. "Sophia," she smiled, surprised. Daniel laughed. "I thought you were gone." Sophia looked at the children. "I left to build my own dream." Daniel nodded. "And," she smiled, "I did." Sophia explained that she started a football program for children who had dreams but no opportunities. She wanted to help kids like Daniel. Kids who had talent but needed someone to believe in them. Daniel looked around. He saw himself years ago. A kid with a dream. A kid who needed hope. "You built this?" he asked. Sophia nodded. "With the money I saved and the support I got." Daniel smiled. "This is amazing." Sophia looked at him. "You taught me something too." "What?" "That dreams are not only about reaching the top." She pointed toward the children. "Dreams are also about helping others climb." That evening, Daniel and Sophia sat on the old field. The sun was setting, the same place where they first talked. Daniel asked, "Do you remember the first thing you said to me?" Sophia laughed. "Yes, you told me I learned something when I lost." Daniel smiled. "You were right." Sophia looked at him. And now, Daniel looked at the World Cup medal around his neck. "Now I know winning isn't only holding a trophy." "What is it?" Daniel answered. "Winning is having people beside you who make the journey worth it." Years later, Daniel's story was still told around the world. Not only because he won the FIFA World Cup. Not only because he scored goals. But because he showed people something important. A person can come from a small place and reach the biggest stage. A broken dream can become a beautiful future. A struggle can become strength. One day, a young boy visited Daniel after a match. The boy said, "Daniel, I want to be like you." Daniel smiled. "Don't try to be like me." The boy looked confused. "Why?" "Because the world doesn't need another Daniel." He handed the boy a football. "The world needs you to become the best version of yourself." And that was the true story of Daniel Carter. The boy who chased a World Cup dream. The brother who never forgot his sister. The footballer who learned love was stronger than fame. And the man who discovered that the greatest goal in life is not the one you score. It is the one that changes someone's life. The End Soccer Ball Trophy.